Thanks, guys. Good morning, and here we go. Awaiting Hunter on the Hill. Sources telling Fox that the president's son is expected to show up in about 30 minutes' time for a deposition behind closed doors. Now, at the same time, Republicans today, around noon, are expected to move closer toward opening an inquiry on impeachment into his father, the president. So we'll find out together what we get. Good morning, everybody. What is it, Dana? It is Wednesday.
Yes.
That it is.
I wasn't sure what the question was.
You lose track this time of year, don't
yes,
you?
I know. Actually, somebody just walked through and said they thought it was Thursday. But it's a busy time of year and a busy time on the Hill. I'm sorry. I'm Dana Perino. This is America's Newsroom. You probably already figured that out. So it's a pivotal day not only for Hunter, but also President Biden. The House will vote on formalizing an impeachment inquiry, the White House dismissing it as purely political. But Speaker Johnson says his party is going where the evidence leads.
The White House has stonewalled this investigation. It's gone methodically, carefully, as the Constitution requires of us. It's a very serious matter. But right now, they're not turning over documents. They're not turning over key witnesses. And we'll have to defend our subpoenas in court. So to do that, you need an impeachment inquiry vote from the full House. We'll have that tomorrow.
Congressman Byron Donald sits on one of the committees that is scheduled to depose Hunter, and we will hear from him in just a minute. But first, let's get a news update from David Spunt on Capitol Hill. Hi, David.
Good morning, Dana and Bill. The subpoena calls for the president's son, Hunter Biden, to appear here in person at 9:30, a little less than 30 minutes from now, on Capitol Hill for a closed-door deposition. The definition of a deposition means that he would be under oath. We don't know exactly if he's going to come or not. His attorney has been silent. However, Capitol Police and members, Democrats and Republicans, are acting as if he will show up and they will be prepared. So this closed-door deposition could take several hours if indeed Hunter Biden does show up. A transcript would be released likely in the coming days. Hunter's attorney said that he doesn't trust transcripts from this Republican-led oversight committee and accused the majority, meaning the Republicans, of leaking selective sections. Now, per Hunter's attorney, Hunter wants to appear on camera in public at an open session, a session we perhaps can carry live to you on TV watching. But House Oversight Chairman James Comer says he'll do a public hearing, but sometime in the future. First, he wants to do this behind closed doors. If Hunter does do this today, he will likely be limited in what he can say. One of the big reasons, he was just indicted not even a week ago on 9 counts relating to his taxes in California. 3 are felonies. You've heard the famous phrase, anything you can or say will be used against you in a court of law. Well, anything he says to Congress, which is not a court of law, could be used in real federal court in California and put him behind bars. I also have to note this juxtaposition you mentioned of Hunter Biden potentially sitting before Congress just hours before the House votes on a formal impeachment inquiry into President Biden, his father. An inquiry, just an investigation, not an actual impeachment. But it is possible that Hunter's under some pressure to cooperate today, so House Republicans don't take out anger in an impeachment inquiry vote on Joe Biden later today if Hunter doesn't show up this morning. Now, if Hunter doesn't show up, House Republicans say they will initiate contempt proceedings at some point here in the coming days. But as of now, we don't know if he's going to show up. It's a mystery, but everybody here is under the posture that he will show up. Back to you.
Well, at least we know he is in D.C., so he's not that far from wherever he is to that building where you are. Thank you, David.
Thanks, David. Byron Donalds will be in the room. He's on the House Oversight Committee, Republican from Florida. And, sir, good morning to you.
Morning.
Good morning. Take a crack at the 2 biggest questions of the moment. Will he be there, and will he answer questions?
Well, let's take the first one. If he's here, this is the responsibility he has to respond to a congressional subpoena. Hunter Biden's not bigger than anybody else. He is a person in our country. He has been subpoenaed by Congress. He has a responsibility to show up. We'll see if he does that. To the second question, does he say anything? That remains to be seen. He has to come and sit for this deposition. I think if he decides not to say anything because of what's happening in his criminal matters, that's perfectly legal and up to him, but he's got to make the determination. We believe that there are clear pieces of information that he can speak to under oath that have nothing to do with his tax evasion charges in California and the other charges leveled against him, finally, I might add, by the Department of Justice.
He had some words about this. Let's listen to call for number 2 and get your reaction to what he thinks is happening.
What they're trying to do is they're trying to kill me, knowing that it will be a pain greater than my father could be able to handle. And so therefore destroying a presidency in that way.
How do you respond to that?
I'll
please. I mean, look, Hunter Biden is a joke. He's got to stop this mess. Ain't nobody trying to kill him. Hunter, you were running across the globe using your daddy's name, shaking down foreign companies and countries. That's what you were doing. You were laundering the money. You weren't paying taxes. You were not paying your fair share. It's a joke. It's not to be taken seriously. This family has led a public corruption scheme for years using Joe Biden's office to do so. That is a pay-for-play scheme. Congress has a responsibility to investigate that.
Okay, so he's facing federal charges on firearms in Delaware. And last Thursday, he was facing 3 felonies and 6 misdemeanors filed in California. Why would he come down and sit for an on-the-record interview with you and other Republican colleagues there today? Or if he does show, would you expect him to take the Fifth?
Well, let me actually clear up exactly what's going to happen in this room if he shows up. Republican members will have an opportunity to question. Well, Republican legal team will question him. The Democrat legal team will question him, and it'll ping pong back and forth. So he'll have an opportunity to speak with Democrat lawyers in the room as well. It won't just be Republican lawyers, and I'm quite sure towards the tail end there will be Democrat members who will be in that room who will have questions as well. So let's not act like it's just Republicans all ganging up on Hunter Biden. That's not the way these things work. But if he comes in and says nothing, that is his prerogative as an American citizen. Everybody is afforded that. But it will also speak volumes, the things that he does not answer to. And like I said, not all of our questions are around the fact that he evaded millions of dollars in taxes.
Last night, sir, Mike Johnson, the new speaker, was on with Bret Baier and talking about the other Biden issue on the Hill today, which is the moving forward with a formal inquiry vote. Listen to him here.
We've shown great restraint. I mean, there are a lot of people who are frustrated that this hasn't moved faster, but there's a big distinction. I stand by every word I said in that video. There's a big distinction between what's happening now and what the Democrats do. Those are rushed sham impeachments. They did it quickly. They did not follow any of the procedures that I just described. We have 3 committees investigating this and following the truth where they lead.
Do you expect the House Republicans to be able to get enough votes to go forward with the formal inquiry today?
I do. I've had some conversation with members who were concerned about this vote a couple of months ago. I think the level of detail we've been able to bring through this investigation has allowed members to get comfortable with requesting or voting for an impeachment inquiry. And let me be clear, this is about giving the House full investigative powers to finish our business. We've already uncovered so much. I believe the votes are there today to make that inquiry happen, and then we're going to proceed from there.
You only lose a couple, right? And
it's Capitol Hill, man. We can only use a couple at a time.
No, you can only lose a couple because your majority is 3 seats.
Yeah, that's correct. And so, but I don't anticipate we're going to lose maybe 1. That's how I anticipate this vote to go.
Okay, sir, thank you for your time, and we'll see whether or not we see Hunter Biden sometime very soon. Thank you.
All right.
Byron Donalds, a Republican from Florida there on the Hill. I thought that one answer was very interesting, what he chooses to not answer. And we'll find that out probably in a transcript that will be released at some time.
And just remember, this is back from September 1st. This is an NBC News report headline from September 1 that the White House anticipated this, that the White House ramps up war room to battle expected GOP impeachment inquiry, saying that President Biden's aides studied the Clinton White House's 1998 response to impeachment as a model for a vigorous defense and making Republicans pay a political price. And we know he has Ian Sams, for example, who is a very competent spokesperson, combative, and good at his job. But they've got their work cut out for them on both sides.
Will we likely hear from Abby Lowell today, Dana?
This is the lawyer for Hunter Biden.
For Hunter Biden. So there's the door that we'll be watching there that goes into the House office building. And just to keep everything straight right now, Hunter Biden is one thing. The impeachment inquiry into the sitting president is another matter. And that's going to develop throughout the day. This is the best guidance we have from Chad Pergram. You heard Byron Donalds say they might lose 1. I think that's Ken Buck, the Republican from Colorado, says we won't vote for it anyway. So maybe they lose 1 or 2, that's in quotes now, on the impeachment inquiry today. Debate likely comes around mid to late afternoon. So maybe that's 3 to 5 o'clock Eastern, with a vote then to happen around 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock later tonight. So all this right now is in flux, as Capitol Hill often is.
Hey, they should take that vote right before the 5, and then we'll talk about it.
About that, huh?
There, right?
Got breaking news
Work
with
on some
Perino.
timing and some programming of producers.
You got it. So stand by. We got our cameras there. We'll find out together what happens.